Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Coffee lands on Obama's playlist for the sixth time. Grammy-winning reggae sensation Coffee has made Barack Obama's annual summer playlist once again. On Tuesday, the former U.S. president listed Coffee's Pull Up as a track he has been bopping in this summer. This marks the sixth entry on its Obama playlist for the tall singer, who has not missed a listing since making her debut on his list back in 2019. Coffee is the only Jamaican act to make the coverage playlist this year. Also on the president's musical rotation for 2022 are Beyonce's Break My Soul, Burna Boy's Last Last, and Temen's Vibes Out. Since landing on the list in 2019 with her track Toes, Coffee has not only made Obama's summer playlist, but has also landed on his favorite music of the year list. In 2020, she made the summer playlist with her collab on John Legend's Don't Walk Away, while his favorite music of 2020 list included her collab with J Hus Started Repeat. In 2021, Coffee made the summer playlist with Switch It Up, a collab she did with Grammy-nominated artist Portarji. Commissioner of Police Major General Anthony Anderson speaks about the significant positive contribution members of the JCF continue to make in building communities safer communities.
Talk to us, please, about the Jamaica you want to see, and how can each citizen, how can each Jamaican, whether yard or abroad, contribute to the security of Jamaica?
So, I go through life being grateful and blessed.
Yes.
And I come at everything from that direction. Grateful and blessed. And I'm grateful and blessed to be a part of this, of STAR program. And beyond that, although I didn't come here, as I say, with the commissioner hat, but I feel grateful and blessed to be leading the JCF at this time. It's a tough time for us.
Yes. Yes.
But I'm grateful and blessed to be doing it. You know why?
Yes.
Because somebody has to be the rock for those police officers out there who every day are in the community, engaging the community in a way that caused and attracted the attention of the private sector.
Yes.
To join with us, to continue and build on that relationship we have with the community. The truth of the matter is, when the cameras are gone, when there are no interviews, when the schools are shut for the night, we are there and the people are there. We experience their pain and we see it firsthand. So even on our dark days and our rough times, we are reaching out to support communities. I think this STAR initiative is a way of expanding that. It has a natural synergy with what we do. I have 100+ youngsters down in Westmoreland from all over the country going through a process, a camp with us.
Yes.
I have 200+ school resource officers in schools mentoring youngsters since the beginning of the year. So what I'm saying, we are problem solvers.
Yes.
And when we see a problem in a community, we want to fix it because we see the result when it is not fixed.
Uncle Anthony, I must ask you, because I know Jamaicans at home and abroad are saying, Miss Kitty, talk the things, ask him the right question. Ask him, Miss Kitty, ask him. A lot of Jamaicans don't trust the police. And some may argue for good reason.
Yeah.
What is Uncle Anthony doing so that we can re-energize and galvanize that trust between police and citizen, where I want to be a citizen for good? I'm going to want to know so I can call the police and my name now call back.
Right.
Because otherwise, I don't call nobody name because my name I got call back. If I want to be a Jamaican star and I want to be a part of Project Star so that everybody forward, I want to know that I have a police force that I can trust.
Okay. So
there are bad people and good people in every sector. But tell me, Uncle Anthony,
so let me
who
ask
not
you,
deal with it?
Here's a little reasoning.
Yes.
So, I haven't come across many people who don't trust at least one police officer.
True.
Most people have one somewhere in the force that they trust.
True.
So if we have 2 million of them who trust one, I wonder how many are really trustworthy.
You have a point?
Okay.
You have a point.
Let me make another little point.
Yeah.
So in every survey that is done, the trust for the police who are in the community is there's like a 20 to 25% spread between the trust for them higher than the national force. You know what that means? Who you know, you feel one way about. And who you hear about, you feel another way about.
True.
So that's a very curious thing. But let me tell you, just last thing, I'm going to move on.
Uncle Anthony cover talk, you know, in my
Right.
talk.
Hold on.
But well, listen, because that's a part of the reasoning. We have to listen and
yes.
understand and exchange. Yes, sir.
So we know that domestic violence is a big thing in Jamaica. We see the result when it goes unchecked, when the first quarrel isn't dealt with. So, as we said, we solve problems. Just last year, we put in 6 additional, we're up to 10 domestic violence centers. The domestic violence centers in Jamaica are police centers.
Yes.
We trained our managers to manage that and to coordinate the efforts of all of society who do counseling and give these medical services to come and provide a service. 2,900 cases since the beginning of this year have we dealt with in those centers. How many of them would have turned out otherwise? These are the officers who do this day in, day out, and they get no credit for it.
A force for good.
That's why I feel blessed and grateful to be their boss.
Newly elected Rotary President targets the environment. Newly elected President of the Rotary Club of Montego Bay, Franz Wigan, says he plans to focus on the environment during his year-long tenure in office. He was speaking at the installation sermon on Saturday at the Grand A View Hotel in Montego Bay, where he was given the mandate to lead the club for the 2022-2023 period. During his remarks, Wignan disclosed that in September, the club will kickstart a series of educational programs targeting the youth, aimed at increasing their awareness about the impact their actions could have on the environment. In September, we will engage basic schools and provide them with reading material, not of regular stories, but age-appropriate material that will help them to understand the influence they can have at the age on the environment, Wignan remarked. He further explained that the club will be seeking to plant a variety of trees, including breadfruit, which he believes can serve a number of much-needed purposes. We also will be planting some trees in these schools for the multi-purpose to provide shade, helps to keep the ground together and also consumes carbon dioxide, and also to provide fruits. The project will also be providing breadfruit trees, which we'll use in common households. So for these schools, it will be a shade environment in the terms of carbon dioxide and also provide fruits, he further explained. Despite the initial focus on the school, the newly elected president was keen to indicate that the project is expected to have a wider benefit for the communities in which the targeted schools are located. We will expand that project into the communities because breadfruit can not only be used in the fry or bake stages, but to make breadfruit flour, which is geared to possibility replacing the multi-billion-dollar import that we have of wheat flour. It's in high demand, so we want to get into educating individuals that this is an economic opportunity for you to be able to engage and have, because it is a growing industry, he stated. Cassava breadfruit, not meaningful replacements for wheat, Jamaica states. President of the Jamaica Manufacturers and Exporters Association, Jamaica, John Mahfood, says cassava and breadfruit may not be meaningful replacements for wheat under the government's plan to use them as substitute for the commodity.
It has to be extremely competitive in terms of cost. And we are not known in Jamaica for producing things, especially agricultural things, on a competitive basis. You're talking about competing with countries who grow thousands of acres of wheat. Breadfruit is not, we don't have orchards now. It would mean growing orchards. Again, it's not an area where we have been successful in making growing orchards, like, for instance, Aki. Breadfruit is seasonal, and so you have to have a infrastructure to store it. The idea, sounds good, having breadfruit and cassava flour. There are opportunities, both locally and export, but I personally doubt very much that it can be a meaningful substitute for wheat.
Agriculture Minister Pernell Trust Jr. says Jamaica is at a point where it has to make changes to limit the effects that global effects have on local supply.
I think that we are at a stage now where we really don't have any option. It's not a matter of just looking on the cost of the actual process and production. We are faced with circumstances where we now know that there are disruptions that can occur in the supply chain that can cut off certain products. So it's about the access and availability of food, not just the affordability. I do know that in terms of making it something that is competitive, we have to do the research to make sure that the whole program becomes one that can be attractive to investors. They have conferred with our technical support team in Jamaica. They've started already to discuss the types of equipment, the production operation mechanisms, to look on exactly the soil testing and just to define in terms of the economics, what we could do to get the cost of this production to be competitive, as Mr. Mafu said.
Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.